Hello friends, this is Shalu. Welcome to CPP Flix YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about a new concept, STD apply in C++ 17 standard. This STD apply method is very similar to STD invoke, which I was explained in my previous video. So if somebody missed to watch that video, please go and check that video first. It will give you a better understanding of today's video. Okay, we will start with what is STD apply. STD apply method can be used to call function pointers, and member pointers with a uniform syntax. It's actually a template function that help us to seamlessly invoke callable object. These callable objects can be function, member function, or member data. I think you will think like you heard the same definition for STD invoke as well. Yeah, both are doing the same function. The only difference is how STD apply will accept the arguments is different. Otherwise, both are doing the same function. So STD apply is defined in the header file functional. So please include uh, functional in your code before using STD apply. Its syntax is like this. It's a template function and it will take two arguments. The first argument is the callable object to be invoked. Means it can be a normal function or a member function or a static function or a function pointer. And the second parameter is a tuple. This tuple contains the arguments that are required for the function. If you remember, in std invoke, we can directly pass the arguments in the invoke function. But here we have to pass the arguments in a tuple. And this apply function will return the value returned by this callable object. As I told, it will take a tuple for accessing the parameters to the function. It doesn't mean that it can only accept std tuple. It can accept anything that support std get and std tuple size. So we can use either std tuple, std array, or std pair. So we will see with the example. Here there is a global function add, which will add 3 of its input parameters and just return the sum. And also I have defined a struct which has two functions. One is a normal member function and other is a static member function. This normal member function will just do the adding of 3 input parameters and return it. Static function will also do the same. So since std apply accept function parameter as tuple, I have created a tuple with the numbers to be added. I want to add the numbers 1, 2, 3. So I have created a tuple with the 1, 2, 3. It can also accept an std array or std pair. So I have created another std array with the parameters 11, 2, and 3. So how normal functions will be called, as we already know. Add 1, 2, 3. For calling the member function, first we will create an object of that class and calling the member function. This is using a pointer of the class object. And for calling the static function, we are using the class name. So this is a conventional way. So now we are going to use the std apply for calling all this function, but in a uniform syntax. So first, for calling the global function, I need to first pass the callable object. Callable object, here it is function. And I have to pass the arguments to the function as a tuple. So I will pass this tuple which contains my input parameters 1, 2, 3. If you want to compare it with std invoke, it is almost similar to std invoke. See, here it will take a callable object as the first parameter. The only difference is in std invoke we can directly pass the arguments. In the case of apply, we need to pass the arguments in a tuple. And for calling the member function, there is a difference, because std apply will accept only uh, parameters. First parameter is a callable object, second parameter is a tuple. But for calling a member function, we need a class object or a pointer to the object. So that what we need to do is we need to first create a tuple using that class object. Then we need to concatenate the argument tuple with the tuple containing the class object, because apply expect a tuple as second parameter. Here I have passed an std array. Here I have used an std tuple. You can also try with std pair. For calling the static function, since it doesn't belongs to any class object, it's easy. Just pass the address of the callable object, then pass the tuple which contains the input parameters to the function. The only difference is when we call any member functions using std apply, we have to pass a tuple which contains class object and the argument list. For that, we can do it like this. First, create a tuple which contains the class object or the pointer to the class object. Then we need to concatenate the tuples, one containing the class object and the other containing the argument list. That's all about std apply. Using this, we will get a uniform syntax for invoking the callable objects. Thank you. Bye-bye.